welcome to the Schooner Morning Show. I'm your host, Mark Prevo, and I am here today with a new tenant that just moved into apartment 620 in the Rockport building. This is Frank Picard, and it's very nice to have you join us this morning.
Thank you.
As you know, in COVID, we cannot get together like we used to introduce ourselves to everybody, so this is an effort to try to interview everyone that lives here and hopefully some people that work here so that you folks can tune in to channel 1390 on Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 10:05 to watch an interview and just see and learn a little something about everybody that lives here. So Frank, tell us, where were you born?
I was born in Waterville, Maine.
Waterville, Maine.
Yeah, South End.
And were you brought up there as well and went to school there?
Yes, I moved all around the South End, but I was always in the South End, except for 2 years up on Francis Street, which is a couple miles away, but all in Waterville.
Right. Waterville is a booming area right now. Colby is buying a lot of stuff downtown. They're getting grants from different philanthropies. And
There was one block that had a major firestorm. It ruined the whole block, and so that stayed empty for a long time. They just built it.
Wow.
Colby.
Wow. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
You must be happy about that.
Yeah, I'm not there no more though.
Right, right. So did you make your career and your life there? You've lived in Waterville, or?
No, I was brought up there until I was 21, and I was visiting my mother. Her landlord, they were good friends, and one day when I went to visit, her son-in-law was there visiting from Jay, and so I came downstairs with an open porch.
Yeah.
And sat with him for a few minutes, introduced myself, and so did he. And he worked in international paper at the power plant. Told me that there was job openings there, so I applied and got in. So I was with international paper for 39 years.
That is amazing. I mean, just a meeting like that, and it changed your life for 39 years.
Yeah.
In Jay, the Livermore Jay area.
Right.
That is an amazing piece.
I had a blind date from my second wife. I went to the movies, and after that, this was in Waterville. We went up to Colby College around the pond, sat and talked, because she wanted to know my background, and I wanted to know hers. She's originally from Canada. And we ended up getting married. She went to work. I got done. I brought her home at 6 in the morning. She had to go to work for 8. But anyway, we ended up getting married, and I brought her to Jay, and she started working for Franklin Savings Bank in Jay, and she was Rich Commier's right-hand man.
Rich Commier, I know him well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just passed away.
Yeah. Yeah, Rich Commier ran that branch for a long time. He was in Mexico, and Bill Perkins was up in Rumford, and I knew the whole crew from Franklin Savings Bank. Yeah.
I don't know them.
Rich Commier worked for Bouffard's Furniture Store when he started out, and I ran that store for 15 years. He had left, and the owner had passed away, and I ended up managing that store for 15 years. So what a small world, huh?
Yes.
It is such a small world. We find that out all the time, and that's why we like to have people talk, and that's why we're doing these interviews, just to get to know each other a little bit better. So did you have any children?
With the first wife, I had 4.
4.
And it was time to get fixed. So when I introduced myself to the blind date, she was 37 when we met, and I asked her if she wanted kids. She said, no, it's too late for me. That's a good thing, I've been fixed.
So, where did, I have to ask, where did the first wife go? What happened to the first wife?
She is now in Rockland. She got remarried to a serviceman,
Okay.
had 1 kid with her, and they had divorced now.
So things just didn't work out for
No.
you two and went your separate ways, and then you found true love in the second marriage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The only thing that disappointed me was she had 2 left feet. She couldn't dance, and I took dancing lessons when I was in junior high.
Yeah.
So with the first wife, I went out with her for 5 years before we got married. All through high school, we went dancing every Saturday night.
Isn't that something?
And then this one, he's got 2 left feet, so I had a white dog, about 25 pounds. And so she just worked down over the hill, so she'd come home for dinner. And I was shift work, 1 week a month, I was 11 to 7.
Right.
So I'd come home, go to bed,
Yeah.
and I'd get up for dinner with her. And as soon as she went back to work, I took the dog downstairs in the living room, put my records on, and put her in my arms and danced for about an hour and a half.
That is amazing. That is such a great story. Wow. The things that we learn. So, do you have any hobbies or interests or things like that?
I'm into classic cars.
Classic cars.
Her father, 4 years after he retired, he had a major stroke, had to go into a home.
Oh.
So I told Carol, I says, we're not waiting until we retire to have fun.
Right.
So we got into classic cars,
Yeah.
and I've had 3. You only have 1 at a time.
Yeah, they're quite expensive. And
Yeah, and that first one I had for 9 years, and it's the only one I made money on. I got it for $15,000, and I sold it 9 years later for 30.
Wow. Wow.
But the rest of them, I didn't make any money on it. I got the red one, the Buick. I still got it. It's at Goldenrod for sale.
Yeah.
And I got 70 invested in it. I don't even think I'm gonna get 50 for it.
Oh boy, I have a friend that's into that too, and he said the classic car market has kind of gone downhill. That it's pretty hard to make money now.
I know 2 millionaires. They've each got about 20 cars apiece. One of them mid-50 Fords, hot tops, convertibles, glass tops.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's got mid-50 Mercury.
Wow.
And the one with the Mercury's passed away, and I'm sure the guy with the Fords looked into it, made some,
An offer.
an offer on
Yeah.
some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Classic cars are fun. They really bring us back to a
yeah.
simpler time, don't they?
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I said, I've had 3, and in those 3, I've got over 80 trophies.
Wow, that is
So
fantastic.
they were show cars. They weren't just everyday cars.
We had a classic car show here several years ago, and it was fantastic.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, last year it got rained out. We tried it on multiple dates, and they all got rained out every time. And then this year, naturally, because of COVID-19, we're not able to do that. But I'm looking forward to the day that we'll be able to do that again, because it was an awful lot of fun, and people just love to look at the classic cars.
Oh yeah.
Like I say, it brings us back to a simpler time.
I remember as a kid, get on the side of the road with friends of mine, and we could name the cars a half a mile away.
Yes, that's
Can't do
right.
that today because they all look
They
alike.
all look alike. My wife and I were just saying that
And
the other day.
that's the reason they couldn't afford to make those changes every year. So that's why they
Yeah.
all look alike now.
Yeah, yeah. Everything looks like a Toyota Camry. That's what
Yeah.
I told my wife. So tell us, before we end our little interview, What would you like your neighbors and friends here at Schooner Estates to know about you? Anything special?
That I was
That
into
you like classic cars and
yeah.
and like we've discussed a little bit about your history to know a little
Yeah.
bit more about you and
Yeah.
And I hope you tune into 1390 on these times so that you can learn more about other people as well. And little by little, we'll get this COVID thing under control, I'm sure, and we'll get back to some sense of normalcy where we can visit more with one another. So we're pretty lucky here at Schooner Estates, I think. So far, so good. What brought you to Schooner Estates anyway? What made you decide
Well, I had to stop driving
Yep,
for the first thing, because my hands and my feet are going down,
yep,
so I can't feel the pedals.
right. Very dangerous.
So I had to stop. When I stopped, then I had to make some other moves. I had to sell the house
Yep,
and get into something like this.
yep,
Well, looking into the one in Farmington, the new one they just built,
yeah,
because her parents were just like in water.
right.
But because I thought this, I was visiting somebody here, and I thought this was going to be a little too expensive. That's why I was trying other places. Come to find out, this was a little cheaper.
There you go. See that?
So we come in here, and I get a friend here that he was my boss for 30 years, and he lived across the street from me for 30 years.
Richard de Waron.
Yeah.
Yeah. We always say, it seems to be a common theme, if you can't be home, this is the next best place on earth, I think, and I truly hope someday I'm able to live here as well. Wonderful place, Schooner Estates, and I hope you get to like it just as much as the rest of us do.
So far, so good.
Yeah, well, that is great. Frank Picard in apartment 620 is our guest today on the morning show. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 10:05.